So, Gene, here's a statement I never thought I would have to ask you. Where are you at with men? Do you like men?
Well, we're talking about a movie, 2022. It's an A24. It's a Jesse Buckley movie. And so I'm a huge Jesse Buckley fan. I mean, Hammett. How could you not love Jesse Buckley after Hammett? She also did Wicked Little Letters. It's on Netflix, which is awesome. Not Netflix, but Wicked Little Letters is awesome. I'm thinking of Ending Things. It's actually also on Netflix. So actually, and she's also upcoming. She is the bride, as in the Bride of Frankenstein. Yeah, an upcoming movie. I think it's like going to hit theaters in April. So that actually, it's a pretty intriguing movie how they've done the costume and design of the bride. So
I'm more interested in your opinion of men. Do you like men?
Roger, you have to set things up. You just can't
Okay,
just dive right
good
in,
enough. All right.
And so again, this is an A24. It's also DNA Films. And DNA Films, they've also produced all the 28 Days movies. So, it's good to know where these movies come from, like who's the guiding brains behind these things. And so before I start, I just have to say that this movie is it's set in England, and it's just heavy on symbolism. And a couple of symbolisms that you really need to know as to review this, because they repeat over and over in this movie, is the symbol. These are Nordic pagan symbols found in churches all over England and old Europe. But there's a character called the Green Man, and Roger will post it up for you. And there's also a character called Sheila Nagig. So they're both referencing to the cycle of life, the continuation of life, life and death. Um, the Green Man is what he is. This is a picture as a male figure, but he has like leaves growing out of his face or around his head. And then the other character, Sheila Nagig, is a naked woman who is kind of like she's sitting down and her legs are wide, and it's pretty graphic. So you're wondering what's going through these old people's minds. But anyway, this symbol appears a lot. But as a naked woman, her legs are open, and then she's opening her vulva with her hands. And so it's just like right there. And again, this symbol appears a lot in this movie. And both of these symbols appear like in carving on like an altar, like an altar type, like set in an old church in England. Yeah, and so the movie it goes begin with the cycle of life. Anyway, this movie starts with a suicide, or maybe it's a suicide. And it's interesting. I did research on this movie, and it's like the movie is, in a way, it almost defies explanation. And it's one of the telling points in my research was that this movie said it's that the movie is kind of a reflection of the people that watch it. So how people review the movie is kind of the idea is how people review the movie and what they think about it isn't really a reflection on the movie at all. It's a reflection on themselves. So when you watch this movie, it's like it's a reflection on you, And so this movie kind of defies explanation. It's easy. It would be easy to hate this movie. It's because it's like you're wondering what in the world is going on. It's like, Alex, what is up in your mind? But sometimes you just got to admire people for just going for it. They have a vision and they just make it happen. And you just go along for the ride. And this movie's like that. Do I like it? I do. It's just a lot of things going on. As men, Jesse Buckley, again, her husband, they're going through a divorce. The guy, does he kill himself or does he not kill himself? We're not so sure, but later on, there's a revisitation. He comes back from the dead. He blames her. There's also other characters in the movie who blame her for his death. So this movie also has certain or very blatant misogynistic themes, like men to men. I don't know. Can we really listen? Or are we so full of our solutions that we can't really see or recognize what women are going through? So, but I think you have to kind of maybe not see the movie this way. I don't know if it's kind of a shallow interpretation, I think. But I think there's also a lot of things going on with like suicide. And it just made me think about suicide as a unique kind of death because like my brother committed suicide almost 30 years ago. And yeah, it's unique in that it's the survivors are left with like an endless cycle of grief and self-doubt. It's like, what if I done this? What if I done this? And I don't know if this movie explores that a lot, but it's kind of touching on it. It's just that it's like suicide for the survivors. It just messes with your reality and it messes with your world. And I remember after my brother's death, it was 1995. It's just like everything was just different for a long time. And it took a while for things to get back to normal. Yeah, in a very surreal kind of way. Yeah, I don't know if I can really describe it. But yeah, it was really weird just going through your daily life and watching other people just going through their lives. But things, yeah, it's really hard to describe. So this movie, do I like it? I don't know. Would I watch it again? I don't know. Probably not. But would I recommend it? If you're a horror movie fan, I would say you need to watch this movie. It needs to be on your repertoire. It has a large amount of body horror, really David Cronenberg-like body horror, especially towards the very end, the last act of the movie. And it's just like, this movie is like, what am I watching? This is like almost things like I've never really seen before in film. So again, I got to admire Alex Garland for just having a vision and just going for it. It reminds me a lot of watching the movie The Substance, where there's like this weird, just unnatural rebirth, reformation of the human soul and the human spirit in just very unnatural ways. So, yeah, I know that's not really a yes or no, but I think that's the best I can do for this movie, Roger.
Very good, Gene.
So,
And so was it the director Alex Garland that was saying your interpretation of the film was a reflection on you?
yeah,
Was that him?
that's kind of an Alex Garland thing.
Yeah. So Garland's head is so far up his ass in this movie. It is unbelievable. I have not seen a more pretentious horror film, maybe ever. This movie basically is men bad, women good, end of story. It is boring as all get out. The only saving grace for this movie is whoever the cinematographer is, and I didn't look it up, knows how to compose a shot. So the actual presentation of the film is lush and the camera angles are smart, but the rest of this movie, I wanted to turn this thing off. It is god awful. And I just hate it when a filmmaker assumes their audience is stupid. And this director is doing this in this movie because you are just hammered with, here's men, they're bad. Here's woman, she's good. She's trying to make her way in this male-dominated society.
Yeah.
And this should have been a half an hour Twilight Zone episode. Maybe it would have worked.
45-minute, maybe.
But my God, is this pretentious as all get out. He thinks he is creating the most meaningful little film you've ever seen, and maybe make it a little more subtle. There's one moment in this film where she is speaking with this priest.
Vicar, I guess they
the
call him.
vicar, right. And okay, here is the potential bones of your movie where this scene could have been considerably more subtle. And it's really about the male society trying to control women. And you could have played it off of that on a far more subtle level. But the very beginning of this film, you're set up where this soon-to-be dead husband of hers is basically saying, well, if I kill myself, it's on you. And all this kind of manipulative stuff. You needed to settle this down. He is hammering you over the head with the fact that men are bad. And my God, this movie sucks. It is just absolute garbage. And it does not surprise me that this director would be so pompous as to say, oh, however you look at this movie, it's a reflection on you. Of course, he's going to say that because this is the most pretentious piece of crap I've ever seen. Sorry, Gene.
Okay, how do you really feel?
I will
Well,
never
see, I
watch
think
this again.
I think that again, I don't know. Is that kind of a reflection on you,
Right,
Roger?
of course. It's a reflection on me. I'm being talked down to by this director who this movie
But see,
maybe
I didn't feel that way. I thought he had there are different messages in there, and you
they're
just have
just
to just
hammering them into your head. It is just hammer, hammer, hammer. Let's make sure
yeah.
you don't realize this. I'm hammering it in your head.
But I addressed that, didn't I? Is that pure misogynistic thing, which I think it's ridiculous and it's just hitting us over the head all the time. But is the movie really all about that? And the symbolism that's going on, and the great cinematography that Roger touched on, which is real.
Mm-hmm.
Excuse me. Does that kind of lend that there's something else going on? And I think there does. And I think this movie's worth kind of examining. It's like, what is he really trying to say? And it's tough to really figure that out. But Roger, I think you have to think about that. Is that in our hugely paternalistic society, can women actually feel that? Does that happen sometimes? I mean, women got the right to vote. What, 150 years ago? Are you kidding me? Not even 100. I think suffrages was like 1920s. So just 100 years ago, women just got the right to vote. So and you're telling me that, oh yeah, men are all good and great. And there's talk today
You can
of
do
taking away their vote.
you
And
can
so,
do a film that is not insulting the audience.
well, I think that this movie is it, because
No,
it
it
has
is
a
just
lot of,
it
course,
is
it hits
the
that
audience is stupid, therefore I must hammer home the fact that oh, men are controlling and bad.
See, I don't know. I think you're seeing that part of it, and
Make it subtle.
That movie, he is doing the movie his way, and he didn't want to make it subtle.
Well, and then he's telling us that we're all idiots if we don't like it. It's some reflection on you. Oh, I'm a man. I don't like his movie. Therefore, I'm one of the bad men.
Maybe you are. No, but this movie is, again, there's an ending sequence where it's just kind of like the movie The Substance, and it's interesting. All the men in this movie, I didn't write down the actor's name.
Rory Kinnear.
Rory Kinnear. They're all manifestations of Rory Kinnear. Like even the characters that are like teenagers are Rory Kinnear. The vicar is Rory Kinnear. The only person who isn't Rory Kinnear is Jesse Buckley's husband.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and so that's the only person. He's this black guy, handsome black guy. But the movie has this a lot of like body horror. It shows Jesse, and there's a lot of like dream sequences, and you got a lot of it's wondering, is this really happening? And I don't think it is. It's happening in her mind. But I think for me, it's just because I had a suicide in my life, and it's just this alteration of reality, which to me related to me, that I could understand, is that her reality is just ripped out from underneath her, and she's seeing things, and she doesn't know what's really real. And
Well, and they could have
yeah,
played that up a lot more, and they don't. It's legitimately men bad, women good. They could have done that where she's actually hallucinating a lot of this stuff, but
clearly
then
she
again,
is.
she's maybe not, because it really is going to focus more subtly on this male-dominated society, but it just hits you so much over the head with it to where
Yeah, you just don't like it. It's kind of overbearing. For you.
It's pretentious. A first-year film school student who just got in from high school will probably love this movie because they'll be like, "Oh, it's so deep and meaningful," when it's just pretentious slop.
See, Roger doesn't like it.
I hate this movie.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
it's boring. It's boring. And then they throw in the whole body horror sequence at the end. It's laughable. It's like, of course you've got to end your movie this way because there's nowhere to go with your pretentious little film. I hate this movie.
Okay, all right.
And it's weird because Alex Garland's next film was it Ex Machina?
No, this was 2022. Machina was, I think, 2014.
Wow.
It's earlier.
So
It's early. Machina goes way back.
he did a lot better job getting his point across in Ex Machina than he did in Men. So I don't know what happened to him between then and that one, but he has failed as a filmmaker with this one.
Yeah, maybe Alex, if you're out there watching, maybe
Right,
send us a
yeah.
comment.
Or he'll send me a bunch of goons to beat me up, maybe a bunch of female goons, right?
Well, since Roger hates it, and yeah, it's a tepid recommendation for sure. But again, like I said, if you're a horror movie fan, because I think horror movies, they should kind of push your buttons a little bit, and I think this has certainly pushed Roger's buttons. And I can relate to it. So I don't know. Watch this movie and tell me what you think. Let's put it on the comments section. And just see what kind of results we get with this movie, Men.
Yeah, I'm certainly not going to tell anyone not to see it, but I'm never going to see it again, and this movie's garbage. But yeah, leave a comment. If you saw Men and really like it, and you're not a first-year film school student, please comment.
Yeah, and even if you're on Roger's camp and you despise this movie more than moldy bread, then yeah, go ahead and
It's just so boring.
I don't think it was
There's
that boring.
too many scenes of her just sitting around, looking pensive. Then, let's go to this church. Let's scream. Oh, blech.
This is not boring. It's not boring. If anything, it's not boring.
It's terrible. Oh, and
But,
the music, I hated. It is this folksy little stuff, and I'm just like, oh my God, you are kidding me.
There's a lot of sequences where there's this big sequence at the beginning. She goes, she has got to get out of the city. So the suicide happens in London. They have a flat that overlooks the Thames River, which actually is this cool apartment. Commits suicide there. She's got to get out of the city. She goes out to England, the countryside in England. She rents this house. Whatever, it's this old house, right?
School house.
Old house. And then she's out for a walk one day, and there's this long tunnel. It's probably underneath the railroads, and as she's going through the tunnel, and she's just like having fun with the echoes. It's just kind of like singing with these echoes, and that singing like kind of forms the soundtrack for a lot of what you see later in the movie.
It's just horrible.
Well, we see that a lot in horror movies. This kind of like grating soundtrack is like the fingernails over the chalkboard. Is it pleasing to your ear? No, not at all. But
no. This was more pretentious stuff going on here. The whole beginning song is basically laying out the movie, this little folksy little wailing person singing a thing, and then she does her little thing in the tunnel of that train area, which takes forever. I got it after the first 2 seconds, what you were doing there. Ha ha ha. Nope,
Yep.
let's extend it
that's
out.
kind of like what she was doing.
Because we're just pretentious as
A little
heck.
more musical.
Right, exactly.
Than what you just did.
Oh, no, this movie just no.
Okay. Well, I think we're talked out then. We're pretty
And it's fun when Gene's buttons are pushed by a film like Killdozer, which is way better than this.
Oh, Killdozer was are you kidding me? You brought that up, the piece of garbage. It's funny you mentioned the word boring. Killdozer was so boring. I mean, you could have had so much. I'm not going to talk about Killdozer.
But you can see how it works. I just can't handle. There's pretentious movies.
You liked Killdozer, and then you're slamming this movie.
Oh yeah, because this
which
one,
I think has actual merit.
This one is treating me like I'm an idiot because it continually is hammering the same point over and over and over and over. And the director is just enamored with himself. Look at all the symbolism I put in here. Oh, you really have to study my movie to get to the deeper meanings. You don't. Men bad, women good. End of story.
There's more stuff going on.
And so, yeah, I just, there's pretentious movies out there that can be a little fun. I mean, The Substance almost can fit into a pretentious category. This one is just too far up its own ass.
Nah, you didn't like it.
Well, and one of the things that's great about horror, one of the reasons I like horror so much is you can have a film that's way over here. Terrifier 3, for example, is just a gore
Hate that
fest.
series.
Just a gore fest. You can have a movie like John Carpenter's The Thing, which is well produced and all sorts of cool stuff. You can have a movie over here that's, Carnival of Souls, really creepy atmosphere. And then you can also have movies like this one that are just, we think we're really important and smart. And that's fine. Not the movie I wanted to see last night. I would have
Okay.
much rather watched any of those other movies I mentioned than this one.
No. Carnival Souls, yeah. Yeah, which I really like that movie. There's a lot of things going on in that. But Roger, I think we were talking before the show, what's the next week? And well, this movie definitely has a lot of Cronenberg kind of like elements. And Cronenberg has a film, what's it called? Crash?
Well, Cronenberg has a lot. We did The Fly, we did
Yeah.
Videodrome, and we
Yeah.
did The Shrouds.
Right. So how about Crash? Is that right? Is that the title?
Gene, you're locked in with David Cronenberg's NC-17 rated Crash next week.
Yeah, yeah.
All right.
We review horror, and that's definitely horror. And
it is
has
definitely
themes,
something.
This has themes that relate to what we're going to be seeing in Crash.
Very good. Try out Men if you want to.
No, try it out. Throw a comment.
But we'll catch you next week with. I'm very intrigued to see what Gene's going to think about Crash. I don't have high hopes for Gene on this one, but we will catch you next week. Thanks for tuning in. Bye-bye.
Bye.